Alright, welcome back. In this video we are finishing the set of the first unique levels for the characters. This is the last one, the Barbarian, and here's of course the manual text. Basically he was living with his tribe in the steppes, and then strange things started happening, people disappearing, demons and shadows in the night and stuff. And there was a vision that showed him as a chosen one going to Kashgar to ask the spirits of ancestors for help. And let's go!
The steps of Karakum have faded into the distance behind you, leaving only memories. These days of journey across the ancient tribal grounds have been like a dream. But now, before your very eyes, Kashgar, the mythical homeland of your ancestors. What mysteries, what fate awaits you in the shadows of its sacred monoliths?
And there we go, the last first level, and this is the Barbarian, Tukaram, I think. Actually, the stupidest name, of course, belongs to the dwarf, Naglfar, I think his name is Naglfar. And in this level, I like this level a lot. It has some interesting kind of non-linear stuff. You could go up there like a normal person, but I decided to explore the riverbed first. Because it does a little loop, which is a bit more convenient. If you want to go here and if you want to show it, this is like the best way, I think. But yeah, this guy, he has no shields, which is why I like him, but he is slow as hell. And a lot of his combos are completely useless, and his choice of weapons is huge ass swords and huge ass axes, which is also cool.
So when you're saying that he doesn't have a shield, he's like unable to use one or what?
Well, all of his weapons are two-handed, and probably if you find some sort of weapon that he can use and the shield, he will be able to use it, but not very well. I will actually try. I've never tried using shields with him. I will try to use a shield and a one-handed weapon of some description, and I will see how it goes. But it's just not really advisable, because his weapons are two-handed. You can block with the two-handed weapons and they can break, unlike other weapons for some reason. His weapons have the resistance stat, which in this game means actually durability, which displays when you select between weapons. And I guess that's what you use like the copies of the same weapon for. But I never ever blocked with his weapons ever in this game, because it's just why would you even risk? Fortunately killed this spider with that.
So you could theoretically like get your old weapons broken completely.
Yeah.
And have to fight with fists or what?
Yeah, you have fists and you have punches and shit. I think Zoe there, which is the Amazon's name, could kick alternatively, but I don't know. Of course it's going to be shit and useless. But you can pick up some small weapons and hold out maybe until you get better ones again.
Were those the same spiders as from the dwarf's level?
Yep. And well, different levels, but still. I think the first level has like 3 health, the second level has 7 health. But yeah, there's... Here, in a second, you will see... Well, first of all, we'll finish these guys. He kills them in one hit, even level 1. This is where you normally go. I will show here in a second. This is a bit of a stupid platforming part. I think the first time I failed here, even though my very first time here I succeeded immediately. You don't have to go the river. You can just kind of hop across this and go from the other side. But I wanted to go along the river because it looks nice down there, and if you kill all the spiders, you level up here, which is, again, not really important. But yeah, you can do that. And even backwards, sometimes you can. I think if you draw your weapon, maybe you jump not as far and you land on that plank and you can jump here, but what's the point of that? That opens that door down there. But first of all, I'm going to, of course, go back here, that door. Go back here and kill these two people. This is the bridge under which we ran. You can see the glitch with the water again, where it does not fade in the fog in any way. This is the combo that we get at level 2. Not very useful, basically just 2 hits. The stupid thing about this guy's combos is that usually they are slow enough that you want to hit people with the second hit, and the first hit you usually want to do before you can reach anyone, so you kind of set it up so that like the final hit of his combo hits someone, because it's usually what you want to kill people with. And one combo very late in the game in particular is especially bad about that. But you can get used to it. This character just seems kind of the stupidest to play, even though it's badass and kills people very fast. But the way you go about using his combos seems like you are fighting against him to be able to play efficiently or something like that.
Do you get damaged if you step in the fire?
Yes, very rapidly. If you step in that little fireplace, you will just kind of boom, dead. There's that. But those faces in the Amazon level that were spewing fire, just nothing compared to little campfires like that. Because the first time when I was practicing as Zoe in that level, I tried to run through somehow, and of course you get stepped and repeatedly hit by that fire, but it deals almost no damage. And I think once when I was playing the game as this guy, I wanted to maybe drink a potion or something. Point is, I wanted to get damaged. I stepped in the fireplace for like a second and I almost died in there. By fireplace I of course meant campfire. Okay, here's a little place where I won't go. There's only a 150 potion there and a skeleton lying on the ground. And 150 potions you cannot take with you, so that's kind of pointless. The health items in this level are kind of front-loaded, which is dumb as hell. By the way, bows. Let's introduce the least likely character to use bows. There we go, sniped. Doesn't have crosshairs.
So, do you actually have to aim, or there is some like auto-aim or something?
You completely have to aim, and it's not even the center of the screen. It's up and to the left of the point where the arrow is, and of course you have to aim higher if the people are farther away, but you can get used to it and you can some places snipe enemies. It's just that usually it's not very useful. There I just wanted to kill that guy because I couldn't be bothered walking there and then back from that place. But usually if someone you want to snipe also usually has a bow, so it's not very good to do that. You cannot strafe with the bow out, so it's not as good as in Dark Souls. But you know, most of the time in this game you use bow to like trigger buttons in the walls and shit, which is kind of dumb because why would you give the player limited arrows then? But for some reason this guy gets the most use out of the bow in the first level. I think might be the only guy that even finds the bow in the first level. There's an orc there and he murders people, but I can snipe him. This is kind of dumb. 3 arrows and he is done. And I level up from that, which is cool. It's kinda like when I was throwing those weapons as the knight, but I still kinda enjoy this. Of course, gonna pick up the arrows after one by one.
So can you get all of your arrows back?
Pretty much. I think some that get stuck in enemies might disappear somewhere, maybe some might roll off or some shit, but most of them you can find. And there's only one place in this game where I ran out of arrows, and it was because I was shooting stuff that I didn't know I didn't have to shoot even. But yeah, this level is kind of cool. I enjoy this level a lot. It reminds me of like a last couple of levels in Undying, actually, in Clive Barker's Undying, where it's like cavemen and stuff. But this is like just some kind of city of these guys, the Barbarians, where there are those Stonehenge-like stones where you find the spirits of your ancestors for some reason and ask them for advice. Of course it has been massacred and invaded and stuff, kinda like that Dwarven city. But I have suspicions that this has happened way before and much earlier than in the Dwarf, because by the time you get here there's only zombies, no actual like fighting between your potential allies or going on like the Dwarves was. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed the scenery here. Second favorite level after the Dwarf City. Here we go, Dismemberment. Arm off, head off. Arm off, leg off. You can cut off both of their arms and they will just have to puke at you and not be able to do anything else.
So what are the rules for Dismemberment? So if you just behead a monster with a lucky hit, does that like completely ignore his HP and stats and shit?
I think for these zombies it does. For normal enemies it usually does not happen until they are very low on health. Actually, it can happen to you as well. You can have more health than you would need to withstand like a couple hits, but then someone will just land a lucky hit and cut off your head.
This is pretty cool that it can happen to the player.
Yeah, well, cool I guess maybe for the observers, because it's really annoying to have this happen to you when you play, but I enjoy that. The zombies here can be dismembered like that. Actually, it reminds me because the dismemberment here, I think it's just collision based, so where you hit is you have a chance of dismembering people there. And kind of reminds me of the desaturated undead from Rune, but we will get to that when we get to that. When I get to the next Rune video, I will explain what I mean. Basically, you can behead those as well, and you need to, not just can. But here, I guess, is where he finds that, woo, everyone is dead, and everyone dead is being raised again. This kind of slightly tragic, I guess, music starts playing as well. Slightly tragic only. That guy got stuck on the ground because I attacked him when he was just going out of it. Yeah, you can probably appreciate how much faster I kill zombies as this guy than the Amazon. Just
Yeah.
bam, bam. The skeletons, however, that we will find later, they are much more dangerous for this guy than the Amazon. For a variety of reasons. Like, you cannot do stun lock combos, for one. They can block even that 2-strike combo with a shield very easily. And they do hell of a lot more damage, probably because you get higher level skeletons in this level or something. I also enjoy the play, like, when you pay attention you see that this is just this gigantic, like, cave looking place in the mountain where they have built their city. More spiders. Yeah. But generally with this guy you have the most problems with hitting people for some reason. Usually his swings go above where you want them to hit, but even then he does have that swing default one, which swings just downwards and helps in killing spiders, those little freaky guys which you saw in the night level, and the destroying barrels, I guess. There's a shield which I will ignore, a potion that I will ignore. As I mentioned, the health items in this level are ridiculously front-loaded, like all these 150 potions before you even meet the skeletons. And you need them only after you meet the skeletons, and well, you can probably backtrack and get them, but they are way too far behind by that point where you actually need food, and there is just nothing for the latter half of the level. Of course, you do have those two 500 potions that you get, and a full life potion as well, I think. Ooh. Kinda interesting that when the zombies break out the doors like that, they immediately attack. They don't just kinda stand there like idiots like they usually do. I guess it's scripted that way. Another potion of 150. But yes, investigating this little settlement here. The ominous music and stuff.
So I'm kinda slightly lost here. What is your, like, goal here at this moment?
I am looking for the sacred site where I will meet the spirits of my ancestors, and they will tell me what to do to stop the evil. Funnily enough, they tell you way more than any other character learns, but ahead of time, and like, once again, like the Amazon, I generally have no idea how this guy learns to go to Tel Halaf or the mines of whatever that level was named, but
Maybe there is just like 3 places in the whole world where you can go.
I guess, yeah, it kind of feels like that actually, because half of these characters have no reason to visit those places. This door is an asshole because it only breaks after 3 hits, by the way, just thought I'd mention. But yeah, but the spirits of the ancestors, well, you will hear what they tell you, but of course you won't know because you don't know the future levels, like far into the future. But they pretty much tell you like all the important levels in the entire freaking game. To the point where I don't know why this guy even didn't just skip towards them immediately. I guess he was investigating like were the other lands faring. Kinda like the dwarf just has the book suggested, ooh, you can probably check with humans, see if they can do something for you. There's a good shield there, which I ignored. Probably shouldn't have if I wanted to test shields, but oh well, I'm gonna find much more. And in this huge store-like place, there's absolutely nothing in any of these boxes or barrels, which is disappointing, because usually by this time I kind of want some food. I have just been playing exceedingly well. This is like the one single totem pole in the entire level, and you destroy it because you need to cross the gap here. Well, not destroy, but still vandalize.
Yeah, that kinda seems like a bad idea for a guy trying to seek guidance from the spirits.
Yeah, well, it's more important to know how to kill the devil, or stop, I guess, the devil, than respecting these logs with faces painted on them. But yeah, here are the skeletons, completely neglected in the last level. First of all, if you remember the knights, they did kind of a similar attack, like with the 3 hits and all. But this is the skeleton's primary way of attacking, as you can see. Unless you're really close and they do some sort of single swing at you, they pretty much always do this, which results in them destroying everyone around them usually, which is very useful. But then again, you can get hit by all 3 of those hits and suffer a lot of damage. And I think I mentioned enemies that kill everyone around them in the first video, and this is who I meant, of course, the skeletons. This guy somehow managed to run around here very fast. I don't know how he did it. Yeah. But yeah, the safest way for this level and this character here is to sidestep like that and usually do just one swing. As you can see, the second swing is very likely to get blocked. And there is no guarantee that you will be able to dodge the counter attack. And there is no guarantee, of course, that you will be able to even hit once, because sometimes the range of the weapons is deceptively low. Sometimes you hit just over them because they kind of crouch at the end. But yeah, in the future this guy gets better weapons, better equipment, better combos, and that simplifies things a little bit. But this first level, I think from the 4 beginner levels, this is the one that I'm not guaranteed to survive if I just kind of try and play it. Because you can get mauled by like pretty much the last skeleton battle in it, where they suddenly have a lot of damage on their weapons. And this part here, this encounter, for some reason takes way longer than it should, really, because I was being very cautious. There is no food left. Maybe there is some crust which restores like 10 points that I can find someplace, but I don't want to use my potions, and I don't want to get hit because I will be heading into a lot of skeleton battles. So I am cautious, but it's not like it helps a lot. I still get hit, of course.
Are there like any secrets you could be missing perhaps at the health items?
Not usually. This game doesn't have many secrets. There's the runes of power, which are hidden in the levels, but not the first levels here. They are in the fixed levels and fixed locations. And mostly you just need to find like a huge glowing button somewhere, and you get into a place with a fatal trap usually and the rune in the end. But more than that, sometimes you can find like maybe a suit of armor if you break a wall that is very obviously breakable, but that's very rare. Usually you don't really have secrets. You have little optional paths that you can forget to explore or stuff like that. That's the most of it. But trust me when I say that when I was trying to get a hand of playing as this guy, and I was trying to even just beat this level and survive it, I looked everywhere in this part for food and there's nothing memorable. Here's a trap. Oh no, what shall I do? What do you think I should do?
Press all the buttons?
Press all the buttons. Well, the ceiling agonizingly slowly lowers. I don't think you can even see it lowering. Now of course it stopped, it's raising and the door is going to open.
Why
So, yeah.
would you put some means to deactivate the trap in the very trap?
Well, it filters out the stupidest and I guess spiders that cannot reach the buttons. Here is that one gate behind which there was a 500 potion right before we toppled that totem pole.
You know, that's probably would be a good place for a shortcut, like you could open that gate and go and collect the potions you haven't picked up before.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, but I think the 150 potions are far enough behind that it would be really tedious to go there even with a shortcut. But yeah, sometimes in this game there is... oh, it's gonna break that wooden bridge. Sometimes there is like doors and gates like that which you see that like you encounter this door from that side and then you come to the door from the other side. But they are only there because it makes sense architecturally. You cannot open them, you cannot like break them or anything. So it's kind of strange, but it evades being like completely obviously designed for you. So like sometimes when you open shortcuts like that, it feels like, yeah, thank you developers for giving me this shortcut. I appreciate the level design. And then here it's like some doors you'll just not be able to open even if you want to. And it is just one more of those things that I like when it's not completely predictable for people who think even a little bit about like game design when they're playing. This skeleton was attacking that wall for some reason, I don't know. Eclipse, finally! I can use the Eclipse. Heck yeah! Haven't you just dreamt to see how it is used? Finally.
Sure.
Kinda stupid that every single character has the Eclipse in the first level. Another boulder, of course. But you cannot do that two-strike combo as you could with a sword with this Eclipse. And that's because the combo was two-handed swords only. But it's not like you need to. This Eclipse that does 8 damage usually. 8? Oh, 8. 20! I don't know why I said 8. Maybe because the POW down there is 28. But yeah, of course some enemies have like defense. But the skeletons generally will get damaged by for 20.
So any like advanced mechanics like skeletons being weak to blunt weapons and shit?
I don't think so. There is a certain enemy in the future which seems like he would be pretty much only killable with blunt weapons. But even then, you can just kind of swing some swords at him and he'll be fine. Even as an Amazon, you can swing sticks at him and he will be fine. And he is made of stone, so no. But some enemies, I think they just have kind of general defenses. Like the zombies, I think they don't take 20. Or actually no, I think they take... I don't know, I didn't really pay attention, but I know that some enemies take different damage from the same weapons, so whatever. Yeah, we are almost there. Cool music's playing, we are in our ancestral home or something. We just need to open the door. Shit. And this is the place where, when I was playing this game before, I got slightly average at it. I was just being murdered. Because there's skeletons here, not that many mind you. Now it doesn't seem like that many, but there's enough that they seemed almost endless. And I had no way to... I didn't see a way how I could possibly survive this. But as you can see, I'm making use of them killing each other quite a lot here. That steals my XP. I don't get XP for enemies that other enemies kill. But, whatever. I'd rather survive. By the way, as the Amazon, I forgot to mention it, when I replayed the level due to the game freezing, not only did I find the bow, not the bow, the quiver and the extra potion, I got a couple of kills stolen from me, so I was like a couple enemies behind. But it doesn't really matter. Yes, these guys, they do a lot more damage than the previous skeletons, and they only level 4 compared to those 3. I mean, those skeletons being level 3. But I guess the weapons that they wield also matters in some way. Maybe sometimes even more than the enemy's level. But shouldn't be far now. I think that there's only maybe this and another one left, or only this one. This guy has a good shield. Thankfully it doesn't really come into play when I attack him from behind. There we go. Press the button, open the magical mechanical door to our little Stonehenge, and also witness some glitching above the thing there, the ceiling. I think this game is made of sectors, kinda like Doom and Serious Sam, and the optimization is therefore not perfect sometimes. I don't know why they decided to spawn 1-level zombies here. They are no threat. There, high smash.
Well, you probably would want to like relax and have some easy kills after those skeletons.
I guess. It's kinda strange to end the level on a piece of cake like that, but whatever. Let's go speak to our spirit of our ancestors, which will pretty much reveal the entire freaking... Of course it will mean nothing to us.
Hear me, O son, and learn my wisdom. Since the dawn of time, the shadow of evil has lain in wait. Down through the ages his power has grown. Only the light of the righteous can resist it. Be valiant, have faith, and persevere. Seek the Isle of the Dead, find the Temple of Light, and enter the gate of Valaskaif. There You shall find your answers.
I don't remember what the gate of Velaskayev is, but I think it's near the
You have
end.
cleansed Kashgar, but for how long? The spirit of your ancestors spoke of a grave evil, which is surely the source of the troubles back home. You must continue to search for answers on the island of the dead, in the temple of the goddess, and at the gate of Velaskayev. Perhaps you will find assistance from gods who beneath Mount Calvary. Valiant knights.
So you see, this guy actually thinks like, maybe I should go find help. In these two places exactly. But, as we will see, there is no help, only just further clues. So, there is that.